Welcome to Speakeasy Spirits. Here in the US, it's almost tax day. I don't know about you guys, but after doing my taxes, I could use a drink. So let's take a look at 3 cocktails you can either drown your sorrows with or celebrate your big tax return. Our first cocktail is Death and Taxes. This recipe was created by Michael Madrison at Milk and Honey in New York, but really became popular once he opened his own bar, the Everleigh, in Melbourne, Australia. This is a potent cocktail. It's all spirits. There's no juices in here to dilute it. This is exactly the kind of drink you might need after tax day. Death and Taxes is a little unusual. There aren't a lot of drinks that combine both whiskey and gin. This is a stirred cocktail, so we're going to start with our mixing glass filled with ice. You could also build this right in the glass. We're going to start with 1 ounce of blended whiskey, and for this I'm going to use some monkey shoulder, 1 full ounce. Now we need 1 ounce of a London Dry gin. I'm going to use McQueen and the Violet Fog. It's technically not a London Dry, but it's a good gin and I like it. Now we need 3/4 of an ounce of sweet vermouth. I'd recommend something that's got bold flavors. I'm going to use this Antica formula. And now 1/4 ounce of Benedictine. This is going to add some sweetness, also some spices and herbal notes. And last, 2 to 3 dashes of orange bitters. Now we're going to stir this to chill it and dilute it. We're going to serve this in a coupe glass, so let's strain it. And let's garnish that with a twist of lemon. Just express that over the top. A little twist. Drop it in. There you have the Death and Taxes. If you like Manhattans, you'll probably like this drink. It's a little more herbal due to the addition of the gin. The Scotch adds those oaky, woody notes. It's a drier, spirit-forward cocktail, but the vermouth and Benedictine add some sweetness and richness to it, and there's just a hint of citrus. This is a really good cocktail. It's also a strong drink, not a bad choice for tax day. Our next cocktail is the Tax Evasion. For this, we're going to start with 1/2 ounce of lemon juice. This is going to be a shaken cocktail since we're using citrus juice. So add that to a shaker. Now we're going to need 2 ounces of rye whiskey. I'm going to use Rittenhouse Rye Bottled and Bond. And 2 ounces. Now we need 1 ounce of dry vermouth. I'm going to use this Dolin Blanc. 1 ounce. Now we need sour cherry syrup. Now this can be a hard ingredient to find. If you can't find it in your local liquor stores or grocery stores, you can buy it on Amazon, or you can make it at home like I did. Get a bottle of tart cherry juice, an equal part of sugar, warm that up until the sugar dissolves. You'll end up with a really good, fresh, bright cherry flavor that doesn't taste anything like those overly sweet cough syrups. So 1/2 ounce. And last, we need a dash of Peychaud's bitters. Now shake this for about 10 to 15 seconds over ice. We're also going to serve this one up in a coupe. So let's strain that. And that's the Tax Evasion. The lemon and cherry are a really great combination. The peppery notes of the rye really stand up to that and blend well with them. And then you've got the herbal notes of the vermouth coming through. There aren't a lot of rye whiskey cocktails I would call refreshing, but this is definitely one of them. Our last cocktail is the income tax. This is a variation of the Bronx cocktail and first shows up in 1930 in Harry Craddock's Savoy cocktail book. Because this cocktail has orange juice, this is going to be a shaken cocktail. So let's start with our shaker and 3/4 of an ounce of orange juice. I'm going to use blood orange here. Now 1.5 ounces of gin. I'm going to use this barrel-rested chemist gin, but any London dry or contemporary style gin would work. It's 1.5 ounces. This recipe is going to use 2 kinds of vermouth. So let's start with 3/4 of an ounce of our sweet vermouth. Again, I'm using Antico formula. And 3/4 of an ounce of a dry vermouth. Again, I'm using the Dolin Blanc. Now we want a dash of bitters. I'm going to use Angostura. And let's give that a shake. Shake it for about 10 to 15 seconds. It's tax day, so break out your fanciest martini glass and strain your cocktail. And that's the income tax cocktail. It's a fairly dry cocktail with just a slight bitter note from the dry vermouth. The orange juice and sweet vermouth give it a subtle sweetness. I think a simpler gin would get a little lost in here, so you want to use something with some bold flavors, like this barrel-rested chemist gin, or maybe a Hendrix. And those are our tax day cocktails. Whether you're celebrating or drowning your sorrows, there's going to be something here for you. The classic spirit-forward death and taxes, the fruity, refreshing tax evasion, or the dry and citrusy income tax. I hope you liked the video. If you did, be sure to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.